Welcome to How to Download and Embody Your Future Potentials Now. I am your professor of the day, Michael Brabant, and we will be diving into this topic about how we can realize that we're already living our future potential, but not always in this body at this time, in the manner that we can intuit that our potential can be expressed through our life. So these 10 ideas are going to be both content knowledge as well as a few experiences to begin to tap into some higher vibration of who we are and begin to kind of draw it forth into our life, and it begins to manifest in how we show up every day. So let's get started with number 1. Patience and trusting the timing. So I get really curious when people get super excited about evolution. I think that's great. I think it's really important that we bring our fullest self to the table and strive to be the expression of who we know ourselves to be at the deepest level. And at the same time, sometimes that urgency can be a little bit sharp, where it kind of feels like there's a jump. And if we're jumping forward, what are we jumping over? Usually when there's urgency, there's an escape, subtle or obvious, to something that we don't really want to feel, because evolution's cooler and bigger and brighter and happier. But every time that we skip over something, a mental note is taken somewhere in our being, and it doesn't allow us to continue going on without forgetting that thing. So everything that we jump over, we have to somehow reconcile at some point in the future. And so in that way, it's really important that we realize that there's another agenda happening through our life beyond that of our ego, and a timing of how things come into play. So if you're ever in a place in your life where you're kind of like pushing against reality or saying, wow, this is not supposed to happen, I'd encourage you to pause and say, how is this the most intelligent thing that's taking place right now? And if you do that, then you can begin to extract the lessons of what's happening. And then the urgency comes from a cosmic place, not from an ego place. Cosmic urgency, solid. Egoic urgency, not so solid. And I want to just share one thing, a quotation from this author, E.L. Toro, don't know how to say it. This is extracted from Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Chef, highly recommended. He says, writing a novel, or in this case, embodying your future potentials, is like driving at night in the fog. You can see only as far as your headlights, but you can make the whole trip that way. So oftentimes when we're talking about evolving or bringing future potentials in, we have a vision for the future, and that vision is extending way further than our current reality. So the trick is to not try to live the vision too fast, and stick with what's the 10 feet in front of you that your headlights can perceive in the fog. And as long as you have your next 10 feet informed by that bigger vision, you'll eventually get to the fruition of your destination, but in a way that's very measured, because we don't know what the next, like the 1300th step is going to look like. And we're only going to have the creativity and the knowledge of reality to inform us if we're taking step by step, because we can't possibly fathom how awesome life is in the future now. And we get taught moment by moment.